I've got a few things pulled up. 2 Am I the Asshole posts and 1 Best of Reddit updates that was originally an Am I the Asshole post. Sleeper fell asleep. Yeah. Streamer fell asleep. Did you see me just read that completely wrong? I'm awake, I promise. Mostly awake. Alrighty. First post. Yeah, I don't. You're not wrong. The power in iron. Alright. Am I the asshole for being upset that my spouse spent $15,000 without asking? I'm going to write this as neutral as possible to see who's really the asshole here. Let's call us Jordan and Blake. We got married at 24 years old. Blake went to college and got a degree in their field before getting married, and Jordan was just beginning college. Blake went to work while Jordan was in college. Blake supported the family via their career. Jordan is the more detail-oriented spouse and took over budgeting and bill payments. After going over their tight budget, they agreed to consult each other for any purchase over $25. They fully combined their finances. Here's where the problem comes in. There was $15,000 sitting in an account that only one spouse knew about. Jordan had been saving for a hobby since pre-marriage, but never mentioned this to Blake. One day, about 6 years into their marriage, Blake started to notice packages rolling in. Blake asked Jordan about it, and Jordan admitted to spending a lot of money on a hobby. Initially, Jordan said $6,000, but when pushed, admitted to $15,000. Jordan thinks this is fine because it was money in a savings account earmarked for this hobby before the two joined finances. Blake is upset because 100% of Blake's money went to joint finances, and Blake stuck to the $25 rule this whole time. Jordan feels like Blake is overreacting. Jordan spent the money when they knew the couple had enough to spare and not be hurting. Jordan always had a plan for this money and says that it's their money to spend. I don't like the way this is written. Who are you talking to? Who is this person? I've not seen this name before. First time chatter too. We'd love to see it. I don't like the way this post is written. Like, why is it written in like a storybook format? Like, why? I don't understand why it's written like this. It makes it hard to read. Instead of just I and he. I guess they didn't want us to. I guess OP didn't want us to know which person they were. I guess that's a way to do it, but I'm finding it hard to read. Let's see. Blake feels like this is a sign that Jordan doesn't view them as equals in their marriage. Blake views this as a huge betrayal and thinks that it was wrong of Jordan to keep money aside secretly to spend. Blake supported the family for 3 years and didn't build up their own savings account in the way that they could have if they were only supporting themselves. Blake doesn't have their own savings account at all. Well, that sounds like Blake's problem. Blake demanded that Jordan cancel shipments, return what they could, and sell what they couldn't. Jordan thought it was unreasonable and asked for time to figure out the best way to recoup the money. Blake agreed, giving Jordan 2 years to recoup the money. Jordan was apologetic at the time and agreed to fix the issue. Now, 2 years down the road, Blake brought it up and asked to see the receipts and check up on where everything landed. Jordan got upset and said it shouldn't be a problem and they can't believe we're talking about this again. Both are convinced you'll see their side and say they're 100% justified, so who is the asshole? Blake for making a big deal about the money that Jordan already saved, or Jordan for keeping and spending $15,000 instead of fully combining finances like they agreed? I feel like it was Jordan's money to spend, so who cares? Like, it's not like y'all have kids that you're paying for. It's just yourselves, and it doesn't seem like you were struggling or anything without the 15 grand that Jordan saved before combining finances. specifically for this purpose. I think keeping it a secret was a bit suspicious, but at the end of the day, it's Jordan's money, so who cares? Yeah. They did, and with the exception of this hobby savings, it seems that that's what happened. I do think it's a bit sus, but at the same time, I don't think it's as overblown. Like, I don't think it's like a big enough deal to put on Emma the asshole, if that makes sense. Yeah, exactly. Because it wasn't like Jordan was pulling from their pooled resources. Jordan was pulling from the $1,500 that they had before the relationship got to the point of combining resources. So, you know, like, yeah. I don't see an issue here personally, other than maybe keeping it a secret. But other than that, it's his money. So if Blake didn't create his own savings account, that sounds like a Blake problem, in my opinion. Sounds to me like Blake should have been more fiscally responsible. Okay, Reddit deemed asshole, but we'll see who they mean by that. As soon as they got married, the $15K became a marital asset. It should have been figured into the budget as part of the combined all assets, and certainly when Jordan quit working, as part of their contribution to the household finances. 6 years is a long time to hide an asset from one spouse. It takes deliberate action, not just forgot to mention. Jordan is a sneaky bastard, and Blake is right to feel betrayed. That's about as far as I got as well. It's like, it's mostly just the keeping it a secret part. Like, if they'd spoken about it and agreed that it was fine, that that part wasn't merged into their shared assets, I feel like it would be fine. But because he kept it a secret, it feels very betrayal-y, which is why I think that that's what Blake is feeling. No. Jordan is the asshole for hiding money and never mentioning it until they spent it. If it was for a hobby, Jordan should have brought it up before combining their income with Blake. Not doing what was promised in, then not doing what was promised and getting upset again. Yeah, it seems the comments are also very much like, you kept 15 grand a secret? Why? Yeah, what is the hobby, I wonder? This one's a weird one. I'd be kind of pissed if I was supporting my spouse through college and all of a sudden they had hidden 15K to piss away if they see fit. Not the asshole. Jordan seems to think yours is theirs when it's convenient and also thinks theirs is theirs alone when it's convenient. Blake should set financial boundaries. Yeah. Weird noises. Jordan is the asshole. Blake supported and sacrificed for the whole while Jordan was hiding it for themselves. Yeah, I must have missed that bit too. I don't remember reading that, but again, it was hard to keep track of where the fuck I was. It's the way this is written. Blake went to work while Jordan was in college. Blake supported the family via their career. Okay, I think that's what that's talking about. 6 years is a very long time, though. Yeah, I don't like the secrets here. It's a bit much. Especially if they had any, like, financial hardships during that time. And this 15K was just sitting there. Very suspicious. Yeah, especially lies worth $15,000. $15K is a lot of money. It is. Whether you think it is or not, it's a lot of money. Unless you're like uber wealthy, it's a lot of money. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too, yeah. $15K is a life-changing amount of money. That's rent for a year for me. So yeah, that's true. Maybe one day, but I'll always have the perspective of what I have now and have as a kid. $15K is a lot of money. If it was $1,500, okay, that would be like not that big of a deal, because that's like a month of rent for a lot of people. But $15,000, it's a lot. It's a lot. Okay, so we've got a wall of text, which is going to be hard on my eyes, but the title was interesting. So I'm interested to know the context of this post. All right. Am I the asshole for breaking up with my fiance and calling him a pedophile? It's a great opener. It's a great opener. All right. Still not a very good deposit on the house? No. They wouldn't be helpful right now. My eyes are sleepy, which is why looking at the screen is difficult. Because everything has that like extra glowy effect on it. Because my eyes are tired. Okay. The OP is a 28-year-old female, and her fiance is a 32-year-old male. They've been loaning money to a 16-year-old girl. The fiance has. It's a daughter of his friends. They message about life sometimes too. I've asked him numerous times to stop lending her money, and then he always goes and does it again, even deleting their messages, so I don't know that she asked for more and he gave it to her. Now his reasoning for deleting the text is because I'm a stay-at-home mom and he does not give me money ever. I have to work side jobs to provide for myself, baby, and what? That's not how being a stay-at-home mom works. You're not a stay-at-home mom if you work side jobs to provide for the baby and for yourself. What is Flux? Oh, I see. Account was created 8 minutes ago, the one I just banned. 8 minutes ago. That's funny. I saw that as I was banning it. It said 8 minutes. So. That's kind of funny, actually. Oh, it changes all of the screens. No, this is really going to help. It's mostly just the one eye, too. It's this one. Still got that, like, sleepy gloss on it. All right. Alrighty. Alright, so that's not how being a stay-at-home mom works. The whole point of being a stay-at-home mom is that you don't work because your job is taking care of the kids. So already we've got red flags going on here. Okay. We had a heart-to-heart, and he told me that he'd tell me when she asked again. She asked 3 times in 1 week. The last time I got upset because he kept arguing why he should be able to give her money, that she pays him back. I really don't care because why are you investing into this relationship with this little girl? Anyway, I told him that it creeps me out and that I'll never know what else is said due to him deleting messages. I did call him a pedophile because why are you even entertaining a child like this? You're the sole provider for our family. We are by no means well off, so I do not think he should be giving money to a little girl like that. When I was that age, I would have never been texting my dad's friends. It's creepy to me. Anyway, that all came to a head when he messaged her telling her all that I said and that he's not allowed to send her money anymore, which also pissed me off because I'm just a scapegoat and you really don't see the problem with this. She also proceeded to talk shit about me being controlling, to which he basically agreed. He had me unlock his phone the other day to check a text he'd gotten while in the shower. Right below the text was a thread of messages with another 16-year-old girl, his ex's daughter. She just started driving, I guess, and he was making jokes about how bad a driver her mom / his ex was. I didn't even say anything this time. All I said was, really, you traded one 16-year-old for another? He packed his things and left for the night. I don't know where he went or who with, nor do I care. He's been texting me, begging for our family back, saying he's deleting all social media and getting a new number. I said, it's sad you feel you need to do that in order to not talk to minors. That's fair. He keeps saying it's all innocent and he's known these girls his whole life, but that's how grooming works, no? So Reddit, am I the asshole, or is my 32-year-old fiance talking to multiple 16-year-old girls as innocent as he's trying to make it seem? I keep answering this, but I do not know the girls nor their parents' names. I have no clue how to find them and contact them, nor would I. Sorry, I don't know how to contact them, or I would. I have also contacted the police already, and they told me there's nothing they can do due to 16 being a legal age of consent in my state. Yeah. Yeah, not the asshole. Jesus Christ. Okay. Okay. If I sit up a little bit more. All right. This one is best of Redditor updates. Originally was on relationship advice as well as am I the asshole. I always need more sleep. Always. I always need more sleep. I, 24 female, found out that my husband, 35 male, made a disgusting bed with his friends when he met me, and now I can't see him the same way. It's quite the age gap there. How long have they been together, I wonder? Alright. Alright. He, 35 male, is friends with my 24 females, with I, 24 female, and my stepbrother, who is a 36-year-old male, since they were in college. And to be honest, they were always respectful to me, and I never knew they were bad enough to do what they did to me. I thought they respected me for being their friend's younger sister, but I was wrong. To give you some context, their group of friends dissolved when they grew up and followed different paths. And a few days ago, they decided to meet up again. Well, that meeting was held at my house, and at one point during the dinner, one of his friends started saying things like he, my husband, was very lucky that our thing worked out. And when he said that, some laughed, and my stepbrother and my husband got very nervous, so I asked what he was talking about. When my husband tried to shut him up, I knew something was wrong, so I asked the same thing again. He told me that when my stepbrother introduced us, he told them that I was really arrogant and a loser, and that I needed someone to, quote, teach me a lesson. And I admit I was very arrogant. I used to be annoying because I thought that no one was smarter than me, and that they were all idiots. Well, except my stepbrother. Except my stepbrother, decided to bet to see who would get to sleep with me first. Evidently, it was my husband, and we've been together ever since. This happened 6 years ago. So 18 and 30? Yikes. 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 And I would feel less hurt if he had always been an asshole because it would be my fault for falling in love with someone like that. But he was also so sweet and cute to me since we started talking, and I would never have thought that he was making fun of me behind my back. When his friend said that everyone shut up because my face said it all, I got so pissed off and I just laughed and went to our room. My husband followed me and began to swear to me that he is no longer like that. That he loves me. And that he regrets what an asshole he was before he met me. And even though we talked a lot and I tried to forgive him, I can't look at him the same way. This morning he went to my appointment with the doctor because I'm pregnant, and when he cried when I saw our baby, I was disgusted because I don't know if he is being sincere or not. I don't know when I'll trust him again, but I want to do it, but I can't. Does this even make sense? Could things go back to the way they were before this mess? Yeah, she should see him differently now. Also, they slept together for the first time when she was 18 and he was 30, which is just so weird and sus. Like, yeah, technically legal, but barely. We're talking barely. Yeah, she needs to leave this relationship. That's how I feel. All right. Right? I don't know. I have no idea. What, like, an 18-year-old hasn't even done college yet. Like, they might not have even graduated high school yet, depending on the person. Like that's a child. Like, I know legally 18's an adult, but that's still a child. Like, yeah, what do they talk about, I wonder? Like, if that age gap was there when they met when she was 24, that'd be fine. 24 is a lot closer to being an adult, and like, because your brain stops developing at 25, so 24 is fine. But 18, that's still a baby. Like, that's a child. Yikes. I don't like that. All right. Update. Edit. A few weeks ago, I found out about a horrible bet that he made with his friends about me before we started dating, and it was not easy to forgive him. So I told him that I would forgive him if he didn't invite his family. That's why I said I forced him in the title. Am I the asshole for forcing my husband to celebrate his birthday only with me because I don't like his family? The thing is, I, 24 female, husband 36 male, comes from a family that doesn't really know what boundaries are. Ever since they found out I'm pregnant, they tell me what to eat, what to wear, how to act, etc., and I can't stand them anymore. I tried 1,000 times to act like them, but I can't, and they are really overwhelming. Yeah, and that every sentence, yeah, we need divorce. We need some divorce going on up in here. I'm about to give birth and I just want peace, and I know that with them that is impossible. So I asked my husband to go to a restaurant to celebrate his birthday because I wanted to be at peace at home. He refused because he said he wanted to stay with me, so I told him not to invite his family then because they got on my nerves. And at first he didn't like the idea so much because he never celebrated a birthday party without his family, but then he accepted. So we celebrated just the two of us at our house, and of course his family got mad at us, especially me, because they know it was me who didn't want them to come. But I don't regret the decision I made because it's the first time in 6 years that I've dared to face them and tell them not to do something I don't like. So am I the asshole? I have flags. We have flag. That was in January of 2023. Original post was in December of 2022. And there's another update as of September 5th, 2023. On my first post, I got a lot of nice comments and even messages, so I thought it would be a good idea to post an update. Jesus Christ. After I found out about the bet, we had so many fights, and we thought it was the end of our marriage and decided to start couples therapy, hoping for the best, and thanks to that, we were able to move on. He apologized many times, and we had long talks on this matter, but today I can say that everything is in the past. Today we have a beautiful 7-month-old baby girl, and I'm 5 months pregnant, and to be honest, I have never been happier. Of course, there are days where I think about what he did, but then I think about the present and what he is today, and I forget about everything because the truth is that he is another person now. Well, he was never really mean to me because from the moment we started talking, he was always caring and sweet. Only now I know everything is genuine and he's not faking it. Although according to him, he's never faked anything because he liked me a lot when he knew me immediately. I don't think our marriage is perfect because from time to time we have fights, but for that reason we are still working on our relationship. Because we love each other and we want this to work and we want to grow old together. So that's all there is, and there's not much more to say. Thank you for your kind comments and messages. No, he's still 36. Because when they met, he was 30. So 36 is quite different. A bunch of 29-year-old men joking about teaching an 18-year-old girl a lesson. I mean, I'd stick to high heaven at any age, but this is it'd stink to high heaven at any age, but this is appalling. And the stepbrother is a piece of shit. Yeah. 2 babies under a year apart is definitely going to fix the relationship. Yeah, that was my exact thought. Yeah, 30-ish dudes planning to teach a lesson to a 20-ish kid because they think she's stuck up. What a predatory pack of hyenas. Yeah. That's true. Yeah, all these red flags look like a poppy field. Yeah. Normally I don't comment on age gaps, but the age gap is pretty bad considering the context of the post. Yikes. Yeah. Big yikes. She was arrogant because she was a child with 0 life experience. Like, yeah. Yeah, we needed some divorce, but it doesn't seem like that's gonna happen, which is very unfortunate. Maybe it will one day. It's quite possible. Ah. I think it's gonna be a short one. In case you couldn't tell. Start late, end early. So we might make it to an hour today. Maybe. Alright. Am I the asshole for not attending Bio Daughter's wedding because her stepsister was not invited? Bio Daughter's dad and I's relationship did not end on good terms. While I tried my best to keep the children out of it, he did not agree, and in an attempt to get his kids to side with him, he went on a smear campaign against me. While he didn't accomplish his goal of getting them to want to be with him, he was successful in straining my relationship with my daughter. I tried therapy and every possible thing, but once she was old enough to refuse, she stopped participating. I remarried when Bio Daughter was 13, and my husband had a daughter who was 2 years younger than our Bio Daughter. Since the beginning, the girls did not get along. At first, Bio Daughter was the one instigating the event in their teen years. The hate became mutual. Both girls are now in their mid-20s, and their relationship has not gotten any better. Bio Daughter is getting married next year, and she's having a fairly large wedding. I knew since the beginning that stepdaughter was not in the wedding party. I'm sorry. Why is this 20-year-old getting married? Oh, it says mid-20s. Okay, never mind. We're good. We're fine. Mid-20s is fine. My brain said 20s. I thought it said 20, and I was like, that's too early for marriage. That's too early. She's having a fairly large wedding. I knew since the beginning that stepdaughter was not in the wedding party, but everyone assumed she was at least invited to the ceremony. While talking about the wedding, the topic of stepdaughter was brought up, at which point my daughter said that stepdaughter wasn't invited. When I asked why, her reasoning was that she wants an intimate wedding. This would normally be a reasonable response, except for the fact that even friends that she hadn't seen since elementary school were invited, but her stepsister is not. So I pressed her, and she said the reason why she isn't invited because she's, quote, not family. I said if stepsister is not family, then neither is stepdad and her half-siblings, and by proxy, I am also not family. And so if it's a family-only wedding, then there is no point in me attending. She obviously got upset and started screaming and ended up leaving. She told her aunts and grandparents, and everyone is saying that I'm an asshole for refusing to attend her wedding. I don't think your reasoning is sound, but I think the outcome is justified. Your reasoning of, well, your step family and your dad, or your step family, yeah, because this is stepdad. If your step family is not family, then I'm not family. It doesn't make any sense because you're her mom, like you gave birth to her, so you're not the step family, so that doesn't make any sense. But at the end of the day, I do think it's a fair response. If you feel like they're being excluded unreasonably, then yeah. Dear Lord, keeping my eyes open is really difficult. All right. You're the asshole who died and made you the wedding guest, police. You say your relationship is strained. I wonder why. Obviously, you favor your stepdaughter. You say their hate is mutual. Why on earth should I invite someone to my wedding who hates me? You can't choose family, but you can choose who you invite to your wedding. It's well within her right to exclude someone she dislikes and is disliked by. Why do you think it is reasonable to pressure her into inviting her stepsister with that kind of ultimatum? Why would it even be important to you? What is the benefit of having SD there at all? Sorry, but I think your daughter will go no contact soon, and she will be right. Yeah, that's a good point. I forgot about the fact that the stepdaughter doesn't like OP's daughter anyways, so that's an additional factor to take into account. Yeah, I agree with this. The relationship isn't strained because of the ex-husband. It's strained because mom decided to prioritize her new family. If the girls mutually hate each other, then why should daughter invite someone she hates to her wedding? Maybe you're doing your daughter a favor by not attending her wedding. She doesn't need someone who can't put her first on one of her most important days. You're the asshole. I hope your daughter goes no contact. Shouldn't be a big deal since you have your stepdaughter. Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm going to agree with the comment saying you're the asshole. Oh boy. It's just the one eye. If it was just this eye, we'd be fine. This eye is literally perfectly fine. But it's this one. It's all blurry still. It's taking its fucking time waking up, and it's making reading really difficult. Okay. I'm about to make my first payment on my bed. Woo! In 3 days. Yeah, apparently. Apparently I might still sleep, and I don't know why. It's very rude. Like, I understand that I'm always tired, but, like, come on now. Like, work with me a little bit. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the comments verdict as you're the asshole. I agree with that. Like, I understand she can choose not to go if she chooses not to go, but I think her reasoning behind it is very poor, which is what makes her the asshole, because she's avoiding her daughter's wedding for no real reason. Well, it won't be debt resolved for a year, so the payment plan is for a year, so. All right. R.I.P. All right, so a lot of these don't have verdicts yet because a lot of these are newer. So keep that in mind. Means we can read it unbiased. Ooh. Am I the asshole for telling my mom that my girlfriend's dog means more to me than her stepson? We love to see it. I, 20 male, had a rocky relationship with Andrew, 21 male, from the beginning. My mom married his dad 6 years ago, and they made me move out of my bedroom so he could have it to himself because he said he doesn't want to share. They made me sleep on the couch instead of getting another bed. So they moved you out of your room into a couch at 14. Because the brand new 15-year-old didn't want to share a bedroom? That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Oh. Okay. Well, now we know how this is going. He spent the next several years making fun of my hobbies, calling me feminine for my obsession with origami. 2 years ago, he slept with my then girlfriend, Kate. The day I found out was the final day I actually considered him my brother. After that, he was just my mom's stepson. Yesterday was his birthday. I haven't seen him for over a year, and I didn't attend the party. Huh? What is this? Should be interesting. Yesterday was his birthday. I haven't seen him for over a year, and I didn't attend the party. Sorry, my chat keeps not scrolling. When my mom asked why I didn't drop by with a present, I told her I just don't care about his birthday. She said, last month you went to your girlfriend's dog's birthday party and you bought him 2 toys. I said, well, yes, but I actually love my girlfriend's dog. I don't love Andrew. Ooh, wrecked. We love to see it. And also completely valid. You must take the doggo gifts. That's how this works. She asked if the dog actually means more to me than Andrew, and I said, absolutely, your stepson means nothing to me. She then screamed about how I am a disgrace, and she called me a disappointment, saying I shouldn't be so cruel to her. Disagree, you're not the asshole. Go give the doggo more pets. Your stepbrother bullied and abused you, and your mother enabled it and encouraged you to accept it. Cut her off next, not the asshole. Not the asshole, but your mom is a self-absorbed ass and a half. This post makes me very sad for you. Your mother is beyond horrible. I hope that you know this. Many of us who grew up with abusive parents don't really know how horrible and abusive they really were and still are. Your mother is absolutely toxic. I hope you get to make a real family with the woman you love and leave these people in the dust. Yeah. Not the asshole. Give doggo more pets. Big yikes, dude. Big yikes. Big yikes. Like, that's so weird. $14 too. He's been putting up with this shit for a while. Good on him, I guess, that he's made it this far. Alright. Am I the asshole for breaking her heart by refusing to live at my mom's house anymore? I, 16 female. My mom and dad are divorced, and they are both 45. I am their only child together, and it happened when I was relatively young because dad realized he was gay, and they've always had a cordial relationship since. My dad has since remarried, as has my mom, so I have two stepdads. It can get confusing, so I'll call them Steve, 48, who is my dad's husband, and Mark, 47, who is my mom's husband. I've always split the time between both houses as it is a flexible custody agreement. I love both equally, but I've always preferred my dad's house because the room is bigger and because it's just me there. Mark has two sons who are always there and loud, and they make a lot of mess. Not in a malicious way, but they're just annoying teen boys. The house is only 4 bedrooms, so they... Only 4 bedrooms. So they already take up 2, but now my mom and Mark are taking in Mark's 2 nieces and a nephew because his sister died and they want to stay with the family. That's a lot of people in that house. This means that both Steve's sons are going to have to share a room, and my mom said it wasn't ideal, but I would have to share too. My mom and Mark said it would only be until they found a bigger house, but I know they can't afford one and I refuse. All the kids are younger than me, and I don't want to share with one. Plus, the noise and mess would be multiplied, and I'd have no privacy at all. That's a lot of people in a 4-bedroom house. I understand the only 4 bedrooms now. Only 4 bedrooms make a lot more sense when there's 2 sons, 2 nieces, a nephew, the daughter. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of kids under one roof, especially since the kids are younger. Jeez. I got really annoyed because my mom was getting upset and said that she was trying to make the best of a bad situation, and I ended up calling my dad and asked if he could come get me. I told him how I felt, and after talking about it more with Steve too, I decided I didn't want to live at mom's anymore because one house with 6 kids isn't fair. I went back to Steve, who calmly told my mom that I wanted what I wanted, and he helped me get all my belongings from there, and I've been at his and my dad's since. My mom has been calling and texting a lot, as has Mark, who's been telling me that I'm breaking her heart because she isn't doing this maliciously. We are trying to help out family who have nowhere else to go. I understand that, but they don't have the room, and I don't want to sacrifice my privacy. I'm really annoyed because why are they taking in kids they have no room for? My dad is really annoyed with my mom too because I struggled a lot with Mark's sons moving in, and he thinks she's putting too much on me. Steve has been really supportive and isn't bad-mouthing anyone and thinks I'm justified in my heart and has been hugging me and stuff a lot since I can't stop crying. Am I the asshole? No, but I need to tell you that that you're breaking my heart is a manipulative tactic that your mother is using, and you need to keep an eye out for that, because parents only say shit like that to manipulate you into doing things that they want you to do, and I'm proud of you for not falling into that trap and saying, well, that's too damn bad. I would like to have privacy as a 16-year-old girl. In a house with 3 boys and 2 girls on top of that. No, not the asshole. Your mother and her husband aren't doing it maliciously, but you aren't doing it maliciously either. While I get that your mother is hurt by your decision, that is no reason for you to suffer, and there is a completely viable alternative. Yeah. Explain that you aren't being malicious either. This isn't about being angry or not loving her. You're just making a choice based on privacy and space. Be sure to visit and stuff, but you shouldn't need to share a room when you have your own room available already. Exactly. Night, Jimmy. I won't be on much longer anyways, so sleep well. I'm probably only going to make it to an hour. Another 10 minutes. Because, oh my god, my eyes will not wake up. Mainly my eye. Why do I get the feeling that Mom and Mark were counting on OP to help with childcare? Because outside of that, moving to Dad and Steve's, at least for the short term, is kind of ideal. Not the asshole at all. Exactly. Not the asshole. I totally understand why your mom is taking this family in, but she can't expect you to be thrilled that 3 traumatized kids are moving in, and you have to share your space. She also can't expect you to not take advantage of the other option available to you, which is living with your dad. Her guilting you over your perfectly reasonable response to her decision is unfair. Absolutely. OP moving out makes the house less crowded overall, and it makes it easier to focus on helping the kids through their trauma. Unless she only wanted to use OP for childcare, as a lot of other commenters are suggesting, there is no reason for her to be upset that OP moved in with her dad. It's not like she will never see OP again, it just means OP won't be sleeping there anymore. Exactly. Your mother's husband brought 5 kids into a small shared home. Yes, he displaced you from your home. Even if there was no ill intention, facts are facts. Your mother should accept the consequences of her choices, not the asshole. Yep, it seems like everyone here is on the same page. Do I look sleepy? Because I feel sleepy. And does it look like I'm really working to keep my eye open? I keep having to like arch my eyebrows in a weird way to get my eye to stay open. I don't know if maybe I just didn't have enough time between waking up and sitting down for this, or if it's like a little bit of leftover like medication in my system that I took to sleep. Like I wonder what it is, like that's making this an issue, or if I just didn't get enough sleep. Thank you, I appreciate it. Even if it's a lie, I appreciate it. Usually I have a little bit more time between waking up and starting a stream. Usually I like sit in bed for a few minutes while I scroll on my phone, and then I get up, and then I like change and use the restroom and, you know, function and move, and usually I get something. Usually I get like, I don't know, something to eat or something like that, and I sit on the couch for a few minutes, and then I come over here. But today that was not the case because I woke up late. This should be the last post of the day. Then I'll go take a nap. And maybe eat something. Am I the asshole for asking my dad's narcissistic fiance to stop calling us kids? I, 27 female, have one sister, 28 female. B is what the sister's going to be called. And our parents are divorced. My dad's 63 and Victoria V, 67, have been together for around 4 years. V started out being pretty good to us, and my dad, for the first few years, they got engaged a year ago, and it's been downhill ever since. My boyfriend, 28, and my brother-in-law, 33, round out the group. About 2 years ago, V started referring to the 4 of us as kids. Example, we have a family home in a different city, and when we visit, V refers to the rooms on the top floor near mine and B's as the kids' room. V calling the 4 of us kids has implications. 1, that we are all related to each other. 2, that we are all the ages of children. And 3, V doesn't speak to us generally as though we are children. Okay, that's a problem. Because you're all grown-ass adults. Where it gets tricky is that I asked her not to call us kids anymore, and the conversation went poorly. C and I were leaving our family home after staying the weekend there with my dad and V. My dad was outside, and C and I were saying our goodbyes to V. This was the conversation. Me. Hey, I wanted to bring something up with you. Would it be okay if you didn't call us kids anymore? It gives off the impression that we're all related, which is a little uncomfortable, and that we're all young, like kid ages. When I'm the youngest of the group at 27. V, yes, of course, I won't say that again, but you need to talk to your dad about that too. It confused me since my dad calls myself and B his daughters, but never uses the word kids. It threw me for a loop, so I ended up saying, but he's my dad. V said, I don't understand why you always give me such a hard time. Here's where I might be the asshole. I got frustrated since she had escalated the conversation out of nowhere. It became irrelevant to what I was politely asking, and she shifted the focus off of her. Me, well, that's a two-way street, V. The 4 of us feel this way, not just me. I don't think I've ever truly asked you for anything, so please honor the one request I'm making of you to not call us kids. I didn't want to continue the conversation further, so I left out the door and waited in the car. C tells me that after I left, V turned to him and said, I just got chewed out for no reason. C walked out as planned as my dad was walking into the house. Whatever V said to my dad was awful enough that it prompted him to storm outside and begin yelling at me. Starting with, do you want to explain what the fuck just happened in there? I tried to explain that I'd asked V nicely not to call us kids anymore, but my explanation fell on deaf ears. He was yelling and cursing at me, setting up for V, and even asked if this was my biggest grief in life. I was sobbing the whole time. It's gone really poorly since then. B mediated a conversation between myself and Dad, but he only put blame on me and said I owe V an apology. I did apologize to her. I thought it would be a small request, but it blew up into something way bigger than it needed to. Am I the asshole? No, you're not the asshole. What the hell? You made a simple request and they turned it into like this whole thing. Like, I don't, like, why? That's not a big ask. No, thank you. No yoga, please. I'm good. I don't want to do yoga. That is definitely not the asshole here. Yeah, these were wild today. Not the asshole where you might be overreacted to the word kids. My parents still refer to us as kids, and I'm in my mid-40s with kids of my own. Your request was fine. V overreacted, and your dad went major asshole with the yelling and the cursing. The word kid itself is fine and normal to use for adult offspring, but the context and disrespect OP is feeling is what matters in this. Especially since I think the main issue for OP is that it's not that she's young, it's that V is referring to her and her boyfriend as kids, which makes them sound like a group of kids, which takes out the part of the fact that they're dating. And I think that's the part that's making OP uncomfortable, which is why she made the request, which is a very simple request. It's not a disrespectful thing to ask. So, you know. I'm nearly 30 and my sister is 25. We're still collectively called the girls. We don't feel any kind of way about it because that's what our parents have always called us. Yeah, the key word here being your parents, not their girlfriend who's only known you for 4 years. OP is the youngest of the group, was already 23 when V came into the picture. I'm not disagreeing with you, just trying to get back to the point of the post. Yeah. Definitely not the asshole here. You're not the asshole. As it stands, you ask someone to stop referring to you as kids. No name calling, no insults, just a, hey, I don't like this, please stop. V escalated with whataboutism and a guilt trip, and when that didn't work, escalated further by lying to your dad and having him a flying monkey to yell at his daughter. All over not being asked not to use a word. If it was really that big of a deal, why did she escalate it? If it really wasn't that big of a deal, why did she escalate it to this means if it wasn't to play the victim? Yeah. I agree. Not the asshole, even if other people do not agree with your feelings about being referred to as kids, you're an adult, politely asking someone to stop referring to you as a child, and even if they don't agree, that is something that a respectful adult should be willing to do. Also, I do think that there's a difference between an adult who raised you, continue to refer to you as the kids, and an adult who did not join your life until you were also an adult referring to you as kids. Yeah, exactly. All right. That's it for today. Very short stream today. But I can't continue to read. It's not working. So I'm going to go take a short nap. And hopefully then be fine after that. I wish I wasn't sleepy, but here we are. Yeah.